Andrew here with Tower Electric Bikes, and today I'm going to walk through how to apply lube to your bike chain. Applying lube is definitely something you want to stay on top of and do somewhat frequently. It's going to help your bike feel a whole lot better while riding, and it has a few other bonuses to it. Again, the big one, there's a big performance boost. There's a huge difference in feel between riding a bike that has a lube chain versus a not lube chain. You'll definitely feel that it's a lot smoother, a little bit quicker, a little bit easier to rotate. So performance, a big thing. The other thing, it's going to help your chain last a little bit longer. It'll help it get a little bit less worn, as most modern lubes will leave a little bit of a coating on there, prevent a little bit of that metal on metal contact a little bit, and it will also protect it from environmental factors. You know, some will prevent them from getting wet and rusty, some will prevent them from getting muddy or sandy and things globbing on there. So there's a lot of really helpful things on keeping your bike chain lubed, and it's something a lot of people forget about when working on their bikes. I have in front of me here a Rock and Roll Absolute Dry. I'm a big fan of the Rock and Roll products. I think they work really well. There's a lot of other really good brands out there as well. Finish Line makes good stuff. White Lightning makes good stuff. Tri-Flow is pretty good as well. There's a lot of good bike lubes out there. You know, do a little bit of research, find one that fits your needs the best. You know, here in San Diego, I like this Absolute Dry because, you know, we don't really ride through wet and muddy stuff too often. Most of the time, you know, the issue with drivetrains are kind of sand and dust and dry stuff kind of going up and caking onto the chain. So one of the things I like about this Absolute Dry is it leaves a coating on there, but then it dries on the chain so that it's not really a wet lube. Now, if you live somewhere where it's a little bit wetter, where you do get rain frequently, a wet lube may be pretty handy for you. You know, again, do some research, find a lube that really works for you, you know, in your riding style and environmental factors. So without further ado, I will get to it and show how to use this. Now, there will also, depending on whatever lube you buy, there will be directions on the bottle. Some different lubes will be applied different ways, but this process is pretty similar to most other lubes out there. Now, one of the things I really like about the Rock and Roll is you can apply it pretty generously, and it does do a little bit of cleaning with it. It doesn't replace a full drivetrain clean, but if there's just light gunk on there, this will help get a little bit of it off. So most lubes you're going to want to shake up a little bit. You know, they have different compounds that you want to get mixed up together. Some lubes won't have that, but so now that I have it all mixed up and I have the cap off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt this on here. Well, going backwards. Realistically, the instructions on this one say to pedal forward on it, but I don't have my bike stand here, so I'm just going to pedal backwards, get that lube all nice and distributed, and then I'm going to grab it on there and I'm going to rub off any of the excess lube. See, and you'll see it even cleaned a little bit of the chain on here. Now, I'm doing this outside on some grass because lubing your bike can be a little bit of a messy ordeal because you know, depending on the lube, you usually apply it pretty generously, and as you pedal, it will kind of splatter up a little bit. So if you're doing it on concrete or wood, you may want to lay something down to catch any lube that comes off. And from here, you know, now that I've wiped off the excess, I just let it evaporate away and the chain is all lubed up. Again, they're going to vary from lube to lube, but this is pretty much the similar process to most lubes out there. Now, you may also want to shift through your gears, you know, distribute that lube across your cassette teeth, but that is really all there is to it. Now, one thing about lubing is it sort of goes hand in hand with cleaning your drivetrain. You typically only want to lube about 1 to maybe 3 times in between cleanings, but after 3 times, you really want to clean your drivetrain. You know, at a certain point when you're lubing your chain, you're just kind of adding gunk to more gunk if your chain is really dirty. So definitely stay on top of your drivetrain cleaning as well. Thanks for joining us.